massive outpouring of emotion. The 2014 All-Ireland football final, a tantalising prospect, and a first ever, of course, Kerry Donegal final. The setting is perfect. Let's hope the football is likewise. Referee Eddie Kinsella from Laois is preparing himself. It's Kerry who won the toss. They play from left to right on the first half. Pretty much a perfect day for football. And a little bit of sunshine right now, breaking through the clouds, is shining down on Hill 16. And I'll be honest with you, I think it's all Donegal, with a few refugees from Kerry in there as well. Although the colour clashes, you just don't know today. Last time they played in the 2012 championship, they changed colours to provincial colours, but not today. They wanted to play in their own usual county colours on the biggest day of all. And straight away, Rory Cavan is going in for the toss in the middle of the park. Usually it's Michael Murphy, as switches and changes are going to be made, and that will change in the seconds immediately after the game gets underway. Just waiting now for Eddie Kinsella just to adjust his watch and get the match underway. So away we go. And straight away it's Kerry getting the opening possession. Up as far as Donegal Walsh. Stephen O'Brien now. One of those playing the first All-Ireland football final. Must be a very nervous occasion for him and for the others. Leo McClune's back there helping. Now Frank McGlynn. Donegal to build from their own half-back line. Fumble that time. And the fumble was by Oran McNeilish. Again, indication of early nerves. Understandably so. David Moran. Measured build-up here. Stephen O'Brien started the last attack on the right wing. Here he is popping up on the left, ready to try and kick it in. It's going to drop a little short, but it's dangerously in there. And a goal! Kerry score right at the very outset, and it's Paul Gainey. Only about 50 seconds were gone when Paul Gainey, the Cork City-based teacher, put Kerry in front, and this is how it came about.
Yeah, Donegal will be very disappointed about that. A turnover in the middle of the field and a good quality counter-attack by Kerry. High ball in. We expected Donaghy to be there, but it wasn't. The smallest Donegal defender against John Gainey and skidded it along the ground. That's a wonderful start for Kerry.
Well, it is an absolutely wonderful boost, as you say. And now Cara Lacey and Neil McGee are going to have some thinking to do, but it's a goal that's come to Kerry right at the very beginning of the match and gives Donegal plenty of time to get themselves sorted out and get back into the contest immediately with Frank McGlynn. A lot of passes and McGlynn eventually playing it forward, but Kerry are back there in numbers. Donegal straight from the outset here, carrying the ball in transition, pass after pass, and now the counter-attack with Kerry and Killian Young. Again, they launch it in there. Big, huge one. Again, it was Paul Gainey reaching for it, couldn't quite get it this time. Ball has gone wide.
Yeah, what viewers would like to know is that Donaghy is playing out the field quite a bit in the first half. The guy we expected to be on the edge of the square was Donaghy, but it's Gainey who has been on the end of those first two attacks for Kerry. Clearly a strategy that was set out by Mrs. Morris. It has got the maximum return.
Well, great goal by Paul Gainey, his first ever in championship football and coming in the All-Ireland final. He was the UCC captain in this year's Sigerson Cup win up in Belfast against UUJ at the beginning of this year. Paul Durkin, bad kick out, straight to a Kerry man. And from Mar, as far as Aidan O'Mahony. Nice controlled approach. O'Donoghue. Back here once again to Aidan O'Mahony. Wears number 3, but very rarely plays back there. Paul Murphy giving it once again to Mar, who caught that kick out from Paul Durkin that set this up. Kerry now the ones taking an awful lot of passes. Again, it's Aidan O'Mahony. Finally, Johnny Buckley putting his boot through it. Comes down off the post. Kept alive. Donaghy. Straight over. Kerry's second score. Point by Kieran Donaghy. Alert play by the Kerry inside forward line. Buckley with a long punt there. Came off the post, and Kerry were vigilant.
Yes, much more alert, Kerry, no doubt about it. A simple pass out to Donaghy and just effortlessly put it over the bar. They've settled so well. Donegal, in contrast, look jittery. McFadden fell at the one side of the field, going for a ball. They just need to settle very quickly.
Curious kick out, but it's worked out for Donegal this time. Kept alive by Anthony Thompson. Free kick awarded. Down here as far as Oran McNeilish. What a great season he's had so far. Eamon McGee. in here as far as Leo McClune, the link man who joins the defensive part of Donegal's game to the much more attack-conscious players inside. And McClune again went in, taken down this time, and the referee has a little quiet word there with Donegal Walsh. This was the challenge by it was very high.
Very high. It was a clothesline tackle, and I thought maybe that merits a yellow card.
Well, I didn't see him getting one. In fact, the referee hasn't spoken to him. He's having a word now out of shot, I can tell you, with another.
Yes, I think what happened there actually, yeah, Aidan O'Mahony actually body checked, I think, Michael Murphy when Murphy was going for a return, and I think that's what he's having a word with Aidan O'Mahony for.
Well, they've got to be careful about body checking in this new black card era. This referee, Eddie Kinsella, refereed the All-Ireland Club final here on St Patrick's Day, and black carded, in other words, sent off Richie Feeney of Castlebar Mitchells in the game against Vincent's. Michael Murphy to hit this one. This is one Donegal need now, just to settle them down, reassure the huge Donegal following that's here from just inside the 45-metre line. On a perfect day for football, and he's not going to miss, and doesn't. So an important pointed free there by Michael Murphy.
Yeah, well, when you need somebody to actually do something, you turn to your best man, and Murphy, there's no doubt about it, just settled the team that time. Just going back actually to the goal here, ball came in. That's very, very well taken by Paul Guinea, right beyond Durkin into the corner. And
very uncertain defending by Donegal at the back so far. Here comes the youngster who's come in, Derek O'Connor, only 18 years of age. Hit in by Paul Murphy, in as far as Johnny Buckley. Michael Murphy chasing after him. Anthony Marr then lets it in long. Skips away, however, from James O'Donoghue. Picking him up is Neil McGee. Carol Lacey. Neil McGee will have his hands full against James O'Donoghue. That much you can be sure if the ball is consistently in from midfield for Kerry. Neil Gallagher now. Had a wonderful match against Dublin in the semi-final. Rory Kavanagh. Not programmed to start, but he did well here 3 weeks ago. Again, Donegal just use the hand passes, build it up slowly and steadily. Finally it goes in here as far as Colin McFadden with the left. Enterprisingly, they're a little unlucky that time. Came off the heel of Anthony Thompson. Almost the perfect pass. Marr slowly but surely out through Peter Crowley. Effectively away to Killian Young. Aidan O'Mahony. He's going to play, it seems, in and around midfield. Oh, almost intercepted that time by McNeilish. Held on to by Johnny Buckley. Back it comes again to Aidan O'Mahony. Swiftly across. High up into the clouds this time, but this one is misdirected by Paul Gainey. And that is a wide for Kerry. That is their second. But he started very well, Paul Gainey. That goal coming after about 50 seconds would certainly have settled him down.
An interesting thing about it, Jerry, it's a perfect day for football, but already on 3 of the Donegal attacks, they have fallen twice when they have been in good positions. They've lost their footing. So maybe, you know, maybe it's over anxiety. It can't be certainly the condition of the pitch. Well,
they're trying to get back up to the pitch, Martin, that they were at here 3 weeks ago against Dublin. That's not going to be easy.
It certainly will be a gradual process.
Again, Kerry up to punch it away from the Donegal men in midfield, and then there are people there to pick up the crumbs. Across to Gainey once again, took up a good position. Frank McGlynn goes out to try and take that ball from him. McGlynn does well, helped out by Paddy McGrath, who goes down, and in the end it goes crawling all over the sideline, and Kerry's ball kept going here. David Moran, poor ball, hit aimlessly straight at Anthony Thompson. He was looking for Kieran Donaghy. Eamon McGee out once again here with Neil Gallagher feeding it forward. Leo McClune holding up the challenge of Aidan O'Mahony. This is much better by Donegal. Michael Murphy got a late thump as he played that ball down. The Donegal fans certainly felt that Murphy was belatedly fouled. Referee didn't give it. He's now got his hand up for an advantage for Kerry, and it's Stephen O'Brien carrying it in. Still O'Brien. He's beaten 3 players and then tried to do far too much with it. Robbed of the ball by Paddy McGrath. Out to McClune. Neil McGee now. Across to Murphy, back up on his feet again. Rory Kavanagh. Again, Donegal being allowed to have a lot of the ball inside their own 65-metre line by Kerry. Finally, Anthony Thompson from Glenties. Buckley chases after him, can't get to him. Loose ball, however, that wasn't terribly well hit. Went off the Kerry defender, Mark O'Shea. It's going to be a line ball for Donegal. 1-1 to a point. Donegal gradually just beginning to find a bit of momentum and rhythm.
Yeah, they're starting to settle into it quite well. They're starting to get their passing game in order. They're finding their men a little bit easier than they were in the first 2 or 3 minutes. But that shock to the system takes a few minutes to get over that.
Michael Murphy slipping a lovely ball down here as far as Derek O'Connor. Tries to sell a dummy. Back to McNeilish again. Into it quickly came Leo McClune. 2 men went to him. He holds on to it and holds on. Finally gets it back here to Ryan McHugh. Seen nothing of him so far. First involvement. Big, huge one in. Opportunities presenting. It's Gallagher who was in there, and he couldn't hold on to it. I think he felt that the defender got it last. Looks a little disappointed with that, but it's got to be a kick out for Kerry.
No, I think it was the correct call. It went in last week. Donegal Walsh, I think, was in place, but it certainly came off Neil Gallagher's fingers last.
Just shows you the amount of hard work that Donegal Walsh does. Back up there, picking up Neil Gallagher. Alert to the possibilities that Gallagher will interchange with Murphy between full forward and midfield time and again. Free kick to Kerry. Free kick to Donegal, in fact, it's going to be.
Yeah, what happened there actually is that I think Brian Sheehan screened, or Anthony Maher rather screened Rory Cavaney as he was coming in to jump, and Eddie Kinsley saw that as body checking, and the free goes to Donegal.
Jim McGuinness, it's his 24th championship match in charge, and this is what happened here just immediately before that. He's won 20 of the 23 matches in the championship so far. He's given Donegal fans a wonderful 4 years of championship football. Michael Murphy has been his captain all the way through that, and in fact under Jim McGuinness he's played in 22 championship games and won 19. It's some record. Well, it's a little more than that. It's about 46 or so meters out. Now we'll probably try and aim at the right-hand post here and draw it in. He's already pointed one. He's looking for another. It's well within his range. Mere kicking practice for a wonderful footballer. Second score by Donegal. Michael Murphy, their only scorer, and the 2 scores coming from free kicks with nearly 12 minutes gone.
Yeah, he's very assured with his place kicking there. 2 great scores from distance, and again Donegal are needing those scores at the moment because from play Kerry defence seems to be on top.
Interesting at the moment, Michael Murphy is out in midfield still. Here he is jumping for this one, punching it just like Kerry midfielders were doing earlier on. Back in there to the heart of that Kerry defence to Killian Young. Now David Moran. 47 possessions in the last game. That replay against Mayo, amazing stuff. Johnny Buckley across the outside of the boot, in as far as Donaghy, catches it beautifully, thought about laying it off, goes down. Thompson curses his luck. Free in. Great catch by Donaghy to set it up. I'd like to see the shoulder again, mind you, just to see how legitimate or otherwise this was. Maybe the referee blew at that stage, didn't think so. Oh yeah, that's the foul.
That's the foul, yeah, soft enough, and it must be said Donegal had loads of players around that time to actually pressurise him. Anthony Thompson's annoyed about it, but there was 2 wonderful kick passes there in that sequence of play, and it's something that we've been looking from a Kerry point of view.
Paul Gainey got the goal in the opening minute. Now a chance to tag on a point here from 13 metres out. Golden a point for him. 23-year-old from Donegal, delighting his manager Eamon Fitzmaurice there alongside Cian O'Neill. So the Kingdom will be happy, leading by that goal after 13 minutes. Plenty of movement just in front of Paul Durkin as he prepares to take this kick out now, I can tell you. The arena, half of it basking in sunshine. Beautiful afternoon for football again. Donegal up to go short. Neil McGee to his brother Eamon. They're going to carry it down, it would appear. Not likely to kick. Kerry, there's a big gap in the middle, and then he just lost his concentration. He was thinking of where the final move might end. And in the counter-attack, James O'Donoghue rifles it up. Keeper comes out, misses! It's gone wide. That was terribly dangerous from a Donegal point of view. James O'Donoghue fired it in. Paul Gainey was in challenging Paul Durkin, who was caught in no man's land.
Oh, that's the second or third time that Donegal have turned the ball over unnecessarily. Paul Durkin came out to put pressure on the high ball coming in, but by God, he was very lucky that that didn't bounce into an empty net.
Kerry have looked the better side in the opening 14 minutes of this match. Deservedly lead.
Yeah, their tackling intensity is better than Donegal's at the moment. They have settled much better than Donegal, and Donegal just need to get a bit of a grip around the middle of the field.
This time the keeper almost deceives some of the Kerry players as he was looking one way, finally found Neil Gallagher, and now Donegal once again can build. It's Frank McGlynn, pacey player who comes from left half back. Rory Kavanagh, very energetic man. Back to McGlynn again, looking for an opening. They found one in midfield. Leo McClune needs to be productive here. Two men go on him straight away. Needs to get it rid of it. I would imagine in the end he gets a free kick and does really well to get something out of that. I thought he had lost his opportunity. Didn't appear to be going anywhere quickly.
Very clever that time. He went at Stephen O'Brien, probably not noticed for his tackling, and earned himself for free. But we talk about the Donegal defensive blanket. Kerry have won in place today that has been very effective up to now.
I guess, Martin, they were always likely to emulate some of the tactics of Donegal. They will have seen what happened in the semi-final, where Dublin had, frankly, a hole right through the centre of their defence.
There's no doubt about that, Gerard. They're determined to keep a shape to the defence today, irrespective of how the game is going, and it has certainly worked a treat for them up to now.
Should be 3 from 3 for Michael Murphy, the 25-year-old from Glen Swilly. First two kicks were quite long, distance from the target. This one just outside the D, and again, same result. He's certainly in form with his freeze. So now just 2 points between the teams.
Yeah, but what is disappointing in a way is that they haven't had a real opportunity of going for a score from play. But, you know, there's another turnover that resulted in the ball going down to the other side of the field, and again it nearly ended up in the net. Donegal very lucky in that occasion.
Kerry come again here. Once again it's Anthony Marr. Aidan O'Mahony, how many possessions has he got so far in the opening 16 minutes? Goalkeeper collects, begins the counter-offensive through Karen Lacey. Quick look up by McNeilish. Hasn't managed to get forward so far. His lovely style of play over on McNeilish from Guidor. Neil Gallagher. And a few runs in and around the inside forward line. Now back into midfield where he's always much more productive, I think. Gallagher again. Picking out Paddy McGrath. Now he's got an opportunity here. He's got support players to his right. Using Lacey. Again, there's a whole line of Kerry defenders back. And they struggle, Donegal, to play joined-up football here. Paddy McGrath appealing that it should be a Donegal ball, and I think it may well end up being so.
Yes, I think they've got that sideline kick all right, but they're not one sweeper, but two sweepers at the moment being deployed by Kerry. And as a consequence, Donegal are getting very little quality ball into the inside line. McFadden has been crowded out. Ryan McHugh has hardly touched the ball. A lot of the Donegal players haven't got to the pitch of the game at all yet.
Do you remember Michael Murphy against Derry in Celtic Park, line ball? I know it was on the opposite flank, but this would suit him even more because he's a right-footed kicker. He's got 3 so far. His team one behind, early stages. But it's just got to land in and around the square, or near it anyway. Plenty of Kerry players are back there. That was a jersey pull as Paul Murphy was trying to get it out. In the end, Fionn Fitzgerald, Mark O'Shea down. Once again, O'Mahony. Stephen O'Brien. Good recovery there by Anthony Thompson to get goal side of him. Fionn Fitzgerald, the Kerry captain. James O'Donoghue. Spreading it beautifully across to Peter Crowley. So far a measured attack by Kerry. Let's see what they can finish up with, however. Donegal Walsh. Donegal retreat. 13 players now back inside the 45-metre line. David Moran, a little deception there, feigning to kick, then eventually getting in, but a little block on it. Still got a lot on it, however. It's going to be a 45, went off Frank McGlynn. Good work by David Moran, who's had to come back from 2 really crippling cruciate knee injuries in recent years. Great credit due to him for battling hard, showing the resolve and the necessary determination to make it back to the biggest stage of all.
Yeah, I think that came off Frank McGlynn's head as it came in, but I'm just fascinated by the structure of the Kerry team. No matter how often they're attacking, they are keeping 5 men in their own defensive area. And I notice Murphy and Aidan O'Mahony are having words, and there's 2 or 3 guys around Murphy at the moment, 2 or 3 Kerry guys niggling him.
There's a certain softening up process going on where Michael Murphy's concerned. As you say, a bit of niggling going on off the ball. This is David Moran. Goal and 6 points so far in his career for Kerry. 3 points this year. Going to drop short. Well fielded there by Neely Gallagher. Getting it out as far as Carol Lacey. Challenged by Stephen O'Brien. Out as far as Anthony Thompson. Gallagher once again picking it up. 65 metres out from his own goal. His team 2 points behind. Donegal looking for their first score from play. Ryan McHugh. 20 minutes gone. So far, Kerry have stymied them. And they've won this ball back to David Moran. Moran looks up, sees James O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue being marked by Neil McGee. Gets by McGee. Dangerous ball in towards Donaghy. 2 against him. He holds on and holds on. Tries to release it. Knew he was going to be caught for overholding. Trying to locate Paul Gainey. Didn't succeed in doing so. Leo McClune, to his credit, got back, won it. An important ball to win.
My God, he was half-ordered that time by the Donegal defence. They did very well, just to stay on the right side of being disciplined. That could have easily been given as a penalty. Paddy
McGrath then fouled by Stephen O'Brien as the referee sees it, and it's going to be a free kick for Donegal. 1, 2 to 3 points, 2 points the margin still. But Donaghy just indicating there to us how good he is in the air, as if we needed that point reinforced. Always going to be a danger. Now McNeilish, left-footed kicker, so we'll try and bring it inside, but is so far from goal at this stage. Just happy to try and keep it away from Kerry hands. Off Gallagher, looking for a little bit more time. Johnny Buckley came in, and the referee gives the free kick to Donegal, and I think the Kerry fans will feel Buckley wasn't doing a great deal there. Just trying to get the hand in and dispossess. Michael Murphy there, just wondering whether or not he's moving as smoothly as he would wish.
Yeah,
sure if he's got a little knock.
Yeah, he got a knock very early in the game, Gervin. 3 or 4 of them collided for a high ball in the middle of the field, and I think he's been trying to run it off since, but he's been given very close attention, it must be said, by Aidan O'Mahony.
Master technician, both managers indeed, Jim McGuinness and Eamon Fitzmaurice. Fitzmaurice was here with his college back in the spring, and they came from behind to win the All-Ireland Colleges title. We think there was a yellow card there issued to Stephen O'Brien, first of the match. Michael Murphy taking it, playing the ball in here as far as Ryan McHugh, and he is bundled over by his marker, Paul Murphy. As anticipated, Murphy is going to have the task today of following McHugh everywhere and anywhere. Remember, this is the guy who got 2 goals and 2 points against Dublin in the semi-final. That time he knocked him over, and the referee gives the free kick just 13 metres out, and this should leave just 1 point between the teams.
Yeah, Murphy's been present in every game this summer with Kerry. He's been a wonderful defender. Maybe he played a little bit too far from behind that time with McHugh, but it was to soften up for him.
Colm McFadden, although as today's match programme correctly calls him Colm Anthony McFadden, his first point from the free kick. All of Donegal's scores have come from frees. They won't care. They're within a point of Kerry.
Kerry will be somewhat disappointed about that, Chair. After getting the wonder start with a goal in the first minute, they haven't really built into it, even though they've had a couple of very good opportunities to actually maybe even get another goal.
Well, the message to them really must be also not to concede free kicks. That was brilliant fielding by Anthony Marr. Up as far as Donegal Walsh. Into Buckley, hard worker. Peter Crowley from Loud Rangers. Sells a dummy there to Paddy McGrath. Back out as far as James O'Donoghue. Looking for his first shot on the target, really, to some extent, although he did play that big ball in, which hopped it over Paul Durkin. But I think that was more of a pass. O'Donoghue again here, threading it around. Buckley, high up into the air, it's going to drop short. Gainey is in there, surrounded by 5 or 6 Donegal backs, helped out by midfielder Neely Gallagher. Runs into trouble. on his own 45-metre line. McNeilish, first championship season. Leo McClune, controlled here by Ryan McHugh. And Ryan McHugh's had to go very, very deep, lose his marker for a moment just to get a possession. McNeilish, fascinating contest, as we anticipated it would be. Rory Kavanagh. Donegal's turn to attack now. And Kerry, like Donegal, have been doing, retreating back inside their own 65 and 45-metre line and saying, come on, you see what you can do. We'll allow you go just a little bit close to our goal, but maybe not the whole way. Rory Kavanagh trying to break through, succeeding. O'Connor, so very, very near. Derek O'Connor trying to repeat what his dad did back in 1980.
It's a wonderful run by Kavanagh at that time, and O'Connor, in all fairness to the lad, is from a very difficult angle, got it to the goalkeeper's legs. The goalkeeper actually got a touch to it. That should have been a 45.
How did he manage to get through? How did Rory Kavanagh manage to get through without being properly tackled?
Just pure perseverance.
Some 12 minutes now since Kerry have scored. And that's a poor kick out. Not what Brian Kelly was looking for there. All the way down, Phil Fitzgerald under a little pressure there from O'Connor. An early indication that O'Connor is not certainly suffering from any kind of nerves. He's a lively young 18-year-old, no fear whatsoever, anxious to make a name for himself. Marr gets it as far as Donica Walsh, in here as far as James O'Donoghue. Marr, O'Donoghue again. Now Johnny Buckley. Passes are crisp, quickly delivered. Aidan O'Mahony. Back it comes to Paul Gainey. 45 metres out, decides to have a go. Well taken in by Paul Durkin. Well, he's had 3 clean sheets in this year's championship, beaten in the opening minute of this game. That was a good save by Paul Durkin. Now back out as far as Carol Lacey. Oops, went astray, lucky to get it back. Ryan McHugh keeping it alive for Donegal. Rory Kavanagh going past Paul Murphy. This time it's Peter Crowley. Donegal now trying to seek out openings in the middle of that Kerry defence. Peter Crowley wins it back. Helped out by Killian Young. Into the path of Stephen O'Brien. Loads of space in which to manoeuvre now. He can carry it forward again. Looks up. Needs to measure this one. Succeeds in getting it in as far as James O'Donoghue. Crisply delivered in here, dangerously, another chance, and this time it's gone. Has it gone over? It's gone over the bar. Yes, he's got it. Well, he's managed to get a point out of a goal chance. Right. That's a real let-off for Donegal.
Wonderful piece of fielding. It's the second time Gainey has fielded over Paddy McGrath. Beautiful dummy at the goal at his mercy. He will be disappointed. Just clears the bar, but that ought to have been in the back of the net. Some wonderful approach play by Kerry.
Clear indication, Martin, that Donegal know they're in trouble. They're putting on Christy Toy, and the player coming off is going to be Derek O'Connor, who just had that goal chance.
No surprise, Chris McCoy, in one respect, it's not the type of game that is suiting O'Connor. They're not getting enough ball to him. Now, admittedly, he had that one opportunity that he was somewhat lucky not to have converted, but I just think Toy's influence is needed very, very quickly.
Gosh, he could have been a hero 5 minutes ago. He's off the field now. Carol Lacey. Well, Christy Toy, you're quite right, is needed. He really settled down, Donegal, I think, when he came on against Dublin after about 25 minutes in the semi. Now here's Christy Toy. Had an awful 2013. Missed an awful lot of football. Pursued by Johnny Buckley. Into it comes Colin McFadden. McNeilish. Lovely deception. Still goes after it. Boots it. Oh, that's over. Beautifully done. It's taken nearly 28 minutes and 20 seconds for Donegal to get their first point from open play, and it comes to Oran McNeilish.
That's a wonderful piece of improvisation by the young Gidor lad. Sold a dummy, lost possession, had the presence of mind just to clip it over the bar. That will certainly, to the boys' confidence, no end of good. Wonderful score from McNeilis.
So 1 point between them from the Kerry kick-out. They retain it there with Aidan O'Mahony. Helped on by Paul Murphy. Donegal Walsh. Coming across. Again looking for a midfielder. Anthony Marr makes himself available. McNeilish strips the ball from him. Down went Liam McClune. Didn't get a free kick as the boot came in. Michael Murphy, and now it's going to be a free kick. Fouled by Stephen O'Brien. Taken quickly. And the referee, I think, has just noted that offence by Stephen O'Brien. Remember, he's got a yellow card. He's got to be very careful. The management will know it. Michael Murphy. Slipped inside to McClune. Rounding Crowley. Oh, awkward kick in the end, and nothing pass. Given away to Kerry and to Johnny Buckley. Up as far as Paul Gainey. A goal and 2 points so far. It really should be 2 goals and a point. Back as far as James O'Donoghue. Outside the D. And that one has gone to the right. It's a missed opportunity. Always offline. Hasn't scored so far. Kerry have 4 wides.
Very surprising now when he's normally so composed when he gets the target in his sight. He that time snatched at the ball, shot a bad wide at a time when Kerry needed a score just to settle themselves down and extend their lead.
It'll be Paul Durkin from the Four Masters in Donegal Town ready to kick this one out in the vast arena that is Croke Park here this afternoon. Again a poor kick out. And it's fumbled by David Moran. He knows he should have got that. Lapse in concentration. Yeah, but Paul Durkin, I mean, people have been saying about wonderful kickouts. He's not really excelled with the kickouts so far today.
No, Kerry have their homework done superbly on that. They're neutralising Donegal's impact that they often have from the kickouts. They're not getting the possession they normally get from them. But David Moran's little lapse in concentration that time give the advantage back to Donegal.
Anthony Thompson now to try and take full advantage of that. Rory Kavanagh flicking it back to Thompson. Very willing player. Back out here as far as Cara Lacey. Footballer of the Year a couple of years ago. And that's a bit more like it by Donegal. And the teams are level. Cara Lacey's first. Level for the first time. Wonderful recovery after conceding a goal after about 50 seconds. And in the end, it was Thompson here who fed it through to the Footballer of the Year 2012. And Cara Lacey duly belted it over. 1-3 to 6 points. Anthony Marr. Very open contest. Beautifully taken inside here once again by Paul Gainey. He's causing a lot of difficulties in there, alongside Kieran Donaghy. Quick distribution. Johnny Buckley. Swiftly back again as far as Gainey. Suddenly got a drop inside of the square, and the goalkeeper Paul Durkin does well.
That's a further 4th ball from a Kerry attack that has come into the goalkeeper's hands. To be very disappointed at the quality of the finishing.
And it's normally so strong. Ryan McHugh, very willing runner. Mention of willing runners, here's Oran McNeilish. Back to McHugh again. Christy Troy. Held on to here by Rory Kavanagh, the 32-year-old from St. Eunan's in Letterkenny. Neil Gallagher. So now Donegal toying with Kerry, it would appear, just holding it up, controlling the tempo of this latest defence. McHugh, all the hand passes so far, nearly 150 so far, almost. Colin McFadden. Leo McClune trying to play it back into a congested area intended for McFadden. Bodies falling around there. The challenge for McNeilish on Peter Crowley, and Crowley remains neat and composed and gets it out of play here and gets it out of danger. Moran taking it back. Stephen O'Brien now. Away to his left to James O'Donoghue. Where he goes, Neil McGee follows. O'Brien darting inside with Eamon McGee winning it back. McNeilish looks up, sees the run of Christy Troy. He has the strength then to get by Anthony Marr. Again waiting for the reinforcements to come from deep positions. Carol Lacey. A game plan that Donegal have been using over the last 3 or 4 years. Big kick in the end down there, just to see if there was anything on for Colin McFadden. Good vigilant play by Mark O'Shea. They had an extra back there as well, Peter Crowley just in case. Donegal Walsh now. Teams level. Just under 2 minutes to go to half-time. It's got to be a line ball from Kerry. Donegal Walsh just about did enough to hold on to it. It's got the attentions of a couple of Donegal defenders. Gets it back to O'Donoghue. It was Donaghy tending to pass it back, eventually kicking it himself. Does it carry the distance? It has the distance, but not the direction. No need for Hawkeye. It's a fourth wide for Kerry.
Someone unlucky that time, Kieran Donaghy took a ball under a lot of pressure that time, just looked up, saw the target, didn't drift in far enough from his point of view. But the Kerry team has just become a little bit, their attack has become fallow in the last number of moments, and you know, Donoghue in particular hasn't made the impact that I expect him to make.
Not so far. Paul Durkin, huge run down. Christy Toy is the target, and Christy Toy does well this time under that kick out. Won the kick out straight down the centre. The big tall men like Toy or Gallagher, Donegal usually gets something out of it. There's going to be 1 minute of additional time. This first half has simply flown by, helped in no small measure by that goal coming so quickly in the game. Rory Kavanagh. Leo McClune now taking it around David Moran. A lot of work to do here, holding off Moran, 45 metres out. Again, trying to seize a gap in here, finding one. Lacey is just outside. That's not going to count. Teams remain level at 1-3 to 6 points.
Yes, and the thing is that the attack developed. Both Neil McGee and I think it was Anthony Maher were getting to know one another quite well underneath us here. But Donegal, considering the desperate start they got, where they were a goal and a point, nothing down after 4 minutes, have come back very well and are settling into their style of play.
Well, Jim McGuinness will have lots to say to his team to encourage them. Likewise, Eamon Fitzmaurice at half-time. Some things have worked, some things have not worked. And the referee is calling aside Neil Gallagher now and Anthony Marr. And it looks like it will be cards. Marr is 6'5", Gallagher 6'4". Giants of the game, quite literally. Paul McGonigal is the other man there as the runner for Donegal. Often comes in to have a little word with a Donegal player just to encourage him or make a switch or a change. So 2 more cards issued. I make that 3 so far in the match. 2 for Kerry, 1 for Donegal. And we've used the 1 minute of stoppage time. Now is the case of seeing just how much more the referee is going to add on. And that is it. It was an explosive start to this All-Ireland final with a goal by Paul Gainey inside the opening 60 seconds, and that set the tone. Kerry were strong in the opening 10 minutes. Donegal came back. They had 3 points from frees from Michael Murphy and another point from a free by Colin McFadden, and then Oran McNeilish eventually got their first score from play. It's a fascinating All-Ireland final. Level at the break. It's Kerry 1-3, Donegal 6 points, and when we come back, Colm, Joe and Kieran will be mulling over the ups and downs of that first half. That's right after this.
Just trying to see who came off, Jared. Is it Stephen O'Brien?
It's Stephen O'Brien, yeah. And Mikey Gainey, cousin of the goal scorer Paul, the one who has joined the match. Straight away, Oran McNeilish, 1-on-1 there. Aidan O'Mahony just palmed it out as far as Peter Crowley. Immediately, Kerry just go into their in-depth defence once again. The emphasis being on making sure that they consolidate and keeping 2 sweepers back at all stages. Fionn Fitzgerald now. Held on to here by Michael Gainey. As far as Donegal Walsh, Kerry set to try and look for the first score of the second half. Inside towards Donaghy. Oh! A boot went at it and it ended up going wide.
Yeah, I think
close run thing.
Yeah, it was Paul Gainey, I think, got in the end. That anticipated the breaking ball very well. Donaghy, well, you just watch it here. He's 3-team, two of them are on him. But the breaking ball, just watch his instinct. And someone unlucky with it.
As you say, Paul Gainey threw a boot at that one.
Yeah, good cover though from the Donegal defence.
Well, Gainey has a goal and 2 points. I think that second point, however, when he looks at the DVD later on, he will say, I should have put it in the back of the Donegal net. Paul Durkin, again, goes short out to the corner to Carol Lacey to begin a slow, methodical build-up involving McNeilish, Thompson, Ryan McHugh, and McClune crossing the Kerry 65-metre line. On his shoulder here, a support player is McNeilish, and that one has gone away to the right-hand side, and it's a missed opportunity. In the end, the shot was by Rory Kavanagh, correction.
Yeah, a little bit ambitious, Jerry, must be said. Very far out. I thought he might have tipped it into the full forward line. But once more, the Kerry defence is very, very well. It's underpinned by a great work ethic and a very good covering system.
Kerry unable to win their own kick out, and Michael Murphy set to try and exert a bigger influence now in the second half. Back to McCloone. Robbed initially by Killian Young, but back to Murphy. Follows through brilliantly. Oh, he really is a lavishly gifted player. Fourth point of the match for Michael Murphy. Didn't work the first time, and the ball came back to him, and from a huge distance out, 40 metres from the target, straight between the uprights. Donegal lead for the first time. This kick out for Kerry is won by Johnny Buckley, and then fouled, and then he runs into a Donegal player. And I wonder, is the referee going to cancel the free to Kerry, because he went straight into Leo McCloone. Just wonder.
Yeah, let's just see this. He's fouled certainly, but he just comes straight into Leo McCloone with the elbow up. He could throw the ball up between the two of them.
Yeah, certainly could.
Yeah, he might reverse the decision. Or not reverse the decision, rather.
Just throw the ball up.
Throw the ball up between two.
At the moment, it's still a Kerry free to David Moran, unless the referee does take some action. I think Leo McCloone is now saying to him, did you see what happened to me? It's still a free kick to Kerry. Mikey Gainey. Support play outside here, coming from Paul Murphy. Curling one in. Oh, that's a wonderful point. Paul Murphy rejected at minor level because he was too small. Big mistake. Well, I suppose to err is human. And just consider one Dick Rowe of the Decca records. He rejected the Beatles way back along in the 60s.
Yeah, that's a wonderful score, Ger. Again, difficult angle, but great confidence in the lad to have actually executed that opportunity.
Motto is, don't jump to conclusions. Rory Kavanagh back in as far as Anthony Thompson. Flicked on by Murphy, but there's nobody anticipating the break here. Haven't really seen that inside forward line of Donegal function so far. Not as we anticipated. But it's been a peculiar kind of match.
Yeah, both teams have been kind of so tied up in disrupting the rhythm of the other that they, you know, the influential and quality players are not enough.
David Moran once again takes command of this situation, but then runs in to Donegal players. He wriggles in and out, still has it somehow. How did he get away out of that? That is an amazing shot, which comes down off the post and is away out of danger. And the crowd appreciated the individuality of David Moran that time. Up it comes to Oran McNeilish. And this time, it's the Kerry fans who feel he should have been caught in possession and held, but the referee gives the free kick to Donegal. Neely Gallagher. Cara Lacey, a point in the first half. Really good score. Anthony Thompson. Back to Gallagher again. Looking for options, nothing available to him immediately. Now he picks out McNeilish. Having a go. That languid style of his, but it's way, way off target. And that becomes a fifth wide now for Donegal, 6 for Kerry.
Yes, at times their attacks lack subtlety and variation, Ger, and they're so slow in building them up that, you know, the full forward line is pulled out of position when, you know, at times when the ball should be going in.
Well, Kerry have done their homework. They watched the semi-final where Donegal destroyed Dublin in the end, and Donegal themselves are struggling to come back up to that pitch they had 3 weeks ago. Murphy here against Ryan McHugh. On the day when the biggest prize in Gaelic football has been handed out, the Sam Maguire Cup. Really tough battle between Gaelic football's top two this year, Kerry and Donegal. Anthony Marr. Change of direction by Murphy easily with the outside of the boot. Inside towards Donaghy, flicks it down. Here's an opportunity for Gainey once again. It's missed. Curses his luck. Nothing so far in the second half. That's his second attempt
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. This long ball into Donaghy gives Kerry a different dynamic. Gainey has been very perceptive in picking up breaks, but their finishing has let them down badly on numerous occasions throughout the game.
That was David Moran's wonderful shot at the end of a mazy run through several defenders. Of course, he is the son of Dennis, known as Ogie Moran. His dad played in 8 All-Ireland finals. Or rather, he played in 10, he won 8. Leo McClune gets it out here. Comes off the leg of Killian Young. Rory Kavanagh. And Rory Kavanagh this time pulled and dragged, no question whatsoever about the free kick entitlement. And then Kerry argued the toss. Silly to give away another 13 metres. And now they're calling out Michael Murphy. And this is very much within his range. He's kicked 4 points so far, 3 of them from frees.
So much emphasis has got into disrupting one another's rhythms, and I think from a Kerry point of view they'll be disappointed that they haven't got more free during the course of the game. Donegal by comparison seem to be getting them a little bit easy.
We're still looking for somebody, I think, to illuminate this game, to produce that spark. Michael Murphy. Away to the right. Another one has been missed. Teams remain level pegging 1-4 to 7 points.
Yeah, poor technique, I suppose, that time betrayed him. He sliced across the ball, but interesting again, Ger, nobody was in the edge of the square for a ball to be punted in there.
Brian Kelly into the hands, or should be in the hands of Marr, but he couldn't hold it, and it's Christy Toy who's in quickly. Suddenly there's renewed energy from Donegal. Rory Kavanagh here. Hand passed inside, back out to McFadden, off his left. That's another one. A whole series of misses now, and Donegal need a boost, and I think the boost may well be provided by Paddy McBrearty's arrival in just a few minutes. That was very untypical of Colin McFadden. The McFadden of 2 years ago would have put that over the bar. Instead, the teams are level.
Yeah, he had a good sight at the goals that time when he went forward, a good assist that time from Murphy, but he'll be very disappointed with the end result. Time
for Paddy McBrearty, the 21-year-old from Kilcar, I think, to come in. He'll be coming in presently. In the meantime, Christy Toy, first substitute introduced by Jim McGuinness. McClune. Thompson, back to McClune again. Slips, Murphy has him, literally. Somehow the referee there said fair challenge, and Kerry got it out, and Anthony Marr takes the free kick. Peter Crowley back in here as far as Michael Gainey. He's got plenty of room in which to manoeuvre here. Opts to kick it himself from the 45-metre line. Never ever looked confident, not remotely confident that time.
Must be said, Gerard, the actual quality of forward play has disappointed hugely. You know, there's very little subtlety to it, there's very little variation to it, and the quality players that you've said on a number of occasions that we expected something from aren't really getting on the ball.
Well, there is a change then. Paddy McBrearty introduced for Ryan McHugh. His clubmate, it must be pointed out, at Kilcar. What a difference a match at Croke Park can make. The hero, the man of the match 3 weeks ago, Ryan McHugh, substituted early stages of the second half. Anthony Thompson held in possession. Another free kick to Donegal, and Kerry doing a lot of fouling, and they've got to be careful. Frank Buglin takes off, has that energy and pace to drive it in there towards Murphy, who gets away off his marker, turns around, didn't make the right connection. Under it here, McNeilish, Buckley for Kerry, touches it down. The race won there by Peter Crowley. Bending his back is Paul Murphy, getting it out as far as Crowley again. Deep inside Kerry's 45-metre line. 3 of them on the line here now to carry it out. Donncha Walsh slipped forward here as far as Gainey. That's Michael Gainey. His cousin waiting inside in the square for a pass if it were to come. Fionn Fitzgerald. That's James O'Donoghue, hasn't scored in the All-Ireland final. Trying to pick out Paul Gainey, but that time the race won by Paddy McGrath. First to the ball, did really well, the left corner back that time, McGrath.
Yeah, but there's such an emphasis at the moment on defence, and it's been the same since the beginning of the game, that it's, you know, you just cannot see one team breaking out at the moment and building up a lead. Like, just look down at the right-hand side of the field. There's 2 Donegal attackers, there's 6 or 7 Kerry defenders.
It's a real struggle for both teams, no doubt about that. Leo McClune against Anthony Marr. And in the end, they get him down, but Anthony Marr trying to get the ball back. McClune held on too long, and the referee had blown his whistle and given the free kick to Kerry this time, with 47 minutes gone and the team still level. Who's going to get the next score? James O'Donoghue, Kerry. Good control, holds on. Kieran Donaghy, but he's way out. There's only one man inside near the goal area, and that's Paul Gainey. It's 1 against 3 in there. 1 Kerry forward, 3 defenders from Donegal. Fionn Fitzgerald. Now Aidan O'Mahony. Taking over now, Paul Murphy. Clubmate of O'Mahony's at Rathmore. And once again, the experienced Aidan O'Mahony. Playing in his 8th All-Ireland final. Trying to slip it through to Buckley. And he gets it inside Carol Lacey. Buckley gets it back from Donaghy. Looking to try and get the necessary room to kick the ball over the bar. And they've come all the way back to 50 metres out from Donegal's goal area. Murphy's got 1 point already, that's Paul Murphy. The attack is maintained, and Donegal Walsh has the final effort under intense pressure. So many passes to finally provide a shot on. It wasn't even on target at the end. Real disappointment.
Oh yeah, the game is becoming really bankrupt at the moment, Ger. Somebody needs to come in and provide a spark, but there's so much. Both defences are so much on top. The attackers are finding it very difficult to make any headway.
Barry John Keane's on, and Paul Gainey, the player who got the goal after about 50 seconds and added 2 points as well, as the one to make way. Well, the match has degenerated even since half-time, and it really does need something special now for us to remember this All-Ireland final in 2014 for the right reasons. Frank McGlynn. Robbed this time. David Moran. Fouled by Lacey. Takes the free kick himself. Out there to gather is James O'Donoghue. Fionn Fitzgerald. It's all about just setting up the right situation now for somebody to get the kick away, and that wasn't the player. And that's Mikey Gainey now having his 2nd shot at the target, and he's way off, and that's 10 wides by Kerry. Really, it's a case of getting the ball into the right, to the shooters essentially. We saw where James O'Donoghue was, Martin. He was out initiating the play 60 metres from the Donegal goal.
Yeah, they're totally confused at the moment as to what they want to do. The good quality finishes are too far out from goals. They're taking, their shot selection is all over the place. They're panicky shots. They're shots with very little conviction about them. And just somebody needs to take the game by the scruff of the neck very quickly, or else we're just going to end up with a bore fest.
I know it's all about winning the title, and nobody will remember what happened at 5 o'clock when somebody's lifting the trophy, but really they now have 20 minutes in which to serve up something. O'Donoghue, a star all through this championship series. Mikey Gainey rather, outside as far as Donegal Walsh, and Walsh plants it in the square. Durkin got a good fist to it, but only out as far as Killian Young. Still, the initiative is there with Kerry. Going in along the end line. Young! Taken down outside. Free. Chance for Kerry to go in front. And that may be something that will spark a revival here in terms of the overall contest. Killian Young taking the initiative himself here. Going in, making sure that he got something for Kerry. He got a free kick. He also got a wallop.
Yeah, good purposeful play at that time by Killian Young. He drove at the Donegal defence. He invited the tackle. He drew the foul. Gives Kerry now the opportunity to go ahead. And
it's going to be Barry John Keane kicking from 13 metres and putting it straight over. Simple free kick for him, but it gives Kerry fans a chance to cheer because they're in front by 5 to 7 points. And Donegal are bringing in Martin McElhenny in place of Oral McNeilish.
Yeah, McElhenny has been very good for Donegal in all the games he's been introduced. He has a big physical presence around the middle of the field. McNeilish had his moment.
Oh, that's terrible. Donaghy! Goal! Second goal for Kerry! Kieran Donaghy in the 52nd minute. Well, there have been so many errors in this match, a catalogue of errors. What a calamity for Paul Durkin. Far too clever with the kick out. Dreadful mistake. Easy goal for Kerry, and for Kieran Donaghy, his 12th in Championship football, and the initiative is firmly now in Kingdom hands, and it's down as far as John Keane. It's the kind of mistake that we'll remember this final for, and in many ways it's symptomatic of what we've been watching.
It sums it up in so many respects, Gerard. Mistakes, you know, messy play and all of that, and that was a bad error by Paul Durkin.
David Moran. Little chink here by James O'Donoghue, leaving it there to Christy Troy, trying to be too clever. Christy Troy. Donegal have plenty of time, they're 4 behind, they need to start playing. Michael Murphy, he's been a great leader for them over the last 4 years. Kicking in the free quickly. In as far as Paddy McBrearty. Will this be the man who will set up this final for us? He's got a point. Well, that's exactly what Donegal required. They were stuck on 7 points for so long. Now 2-5 to 8 points. Look at this for a dreadful kick out. Not sure what he was thinking, Paul Durkin, but that is a horrible mistake.
Yeah, but from the word go today, you could see that Kerry have worked in the Donegal kick out. They have stymied it, they have frustrated them, and they have got the dividend.
Killian Young has got possession from Kerry's kick out, and now Mark O'Shea chasing a 5th All-Ireland winners medal. The other 4 came against 2 counties, Mayo twice and Cork twice. Johnny Buckley kicking it in, huge one. Breaks back out here as far as Frank McGlynn. Neil Gallagher now, on as far as Leo McClune, looks around. He had 2 forwards ahead of him. Donegal are behind, and they better start thinking in terms of bringing men forward. Martin McElhenney, holding, slipping it inside. Again, it's Paddy McBrearty. He's already making a difference. Was it a shame, or was it a mistake to leave him off in the first place? He's got a 2nd point. Can he be the one to turn this game around on its head in favour of Donegal? They're now only 2 behind, and we're 19 minutes into the 2nd half.
That's a wonderful response from McBrearty. Twice he got the ball in 1-on-1, skinned his marker, put the ball over the bar, but they need to get more and more from him over the last period of the match. That's a great response from Donegal from what is potentially, and was potentially, a crippling blow.
Shane writes on. The captain, Fionn Fitzgerald, has gone off. It's not been a good year for Kerry captains. Kieran O'Leary sitting in the subs. He might be the captain. Colm Gooch Cooper, of course, badly injured all season. And that kick-out's a very poor one, and it's straight out of play. And now it's up to Donegal to see what they can do. They're only 2 points behind, and we've plenty of time left. 16 minutes. Neil Gallagher on here as far as McElhenney. Great work by McElhenney. Inside here to Neil McGee, and McGee kicks it inside the post and over the bar. Only his 3rd ever championship point, but his first today. The fans on their feet, arms in the air, clapping and saluting, because Donegal have fought back from 4 behind to now be just 1 adrift of Kerry, with 15 minutes still remaining in the 2014 final.
What a display of character from Donegal. Other teams would have folded, but the McBrearty couple of points, and that one from McGee is a wonderful response from them.
Fisted down again, this time from the kick out by Rory Kavanagh, this time picked up by Kerry. We could be in for a rip-roaring last 15 minutes, and that's the least the fans who've come here and are watching elsewhere deserve. On it goes here. Anthony Marr, that one has gone away to the right-hand side. Haven't been able to build on that gift goal they were given. And Kieran Donaghy's 12th championship goal. Now the Brains Trust from Kerry are in conclave. Eamon Fitzmaurice there, Cian O'Neill, Diarmuid Murphy and Mikey Sheehy, and it's time to bring in the greatly talented but wounded this year Declan O'Sullivan. He has been injured. What a talent this man is. He's coming on to play in his 70th ever championship match in just a moment. They need him. Kerry win back that Donegal kick out. Mikey Gainey down to Johnny Buckley, nobody marking him, chance of getting a kick away, and Buckley went down right to begin with, but curled back insufficiently to get right between the post and over.
Well, that's one of the scores of the game, it must be said. Buckley had that little bit of room, more room now is kind of appearing for both teams, but that's a great, confidently kicked score by Buckley.
So Buckley is on his first score of this match to make it 2-6 to 10 points and put 2 between them. And the player who went off is Donegal Walsh, replaced by Declan O'Sullivan. And Donegal are also making a change, and David Walsh is coming on in place of Leo McClune, number 18. Started the semi-final, of course, came off after 25 minutes. That's well caught by David Moran, lovely catch. It's down to the last 13 minutes now of what really has been an intriguing, if sometimes error-strewn, All-Ireland final. The issue is in doubt. Lovely pass, beautiful ball by James O'Donoghue to Barry John Keane, and he takes a tumble. Neil Gallagher couldn't get to him, fouled, free in. But it was the quality of that pass by James O'Donoghue, who hasn't scored today, but who made that wonderful score possible, maybe the next score.
Beautifully threaded ball through to Barry John Keane that time. Okay, he's been playing further outfield than he maybe would like to, but Keane made the run off the ball, and just precision from Donoghue that time to find him.
Just to show how good O'Donoghue has been doing this year, he scored 4 goals and 24 points in 4 matches, and that was his entire tally in his career up to this season. That's a second pointed free by Barry John Keane, and it keeps Kerry in front by 3 points.
Yeah, it's interesting actually, since the mistake for the goal, all of Durkin's kickouts, Paul Durkin's kickouts since then have gone long, and I think the midfield players aren't really anticipating that.
Well, the target usually is Neil Gallagher. He's standing on the 65-metre line, but it goes the other direction, and it went straight to Johnny Buckley. Not going well. But that's not the first time it's been happening in this match. Now Declan O'Sullivan, star of the match, or one of the stars against Cork in the Munster final, when Kerry absolutely destroyed the home team that day at Porky Queen. Out it comes once again here to Anthony Thompson. Looks up, there's only 2 forwards inside, so he has to carry, has to keep on going. Anthony Marr knows that, he's trying to bottle him up over there. Declan O'Sullivan came in as well to lend his support. Rory Kavanagh keeps it going here. That's David Walsh, first involvement since coming in. Thompson again, inside to McBrearty. He's causing major problems now. His new marker, of course, Shane Enright. Well blocked! What a brilliant piece of blocking that time. I think it's Peter Crowley. That was a fantastic bit of skill. Out to James O'Donoghue. A possible Donegal point at one end was stymied because of a great block, and now at the other end, Kerry advanced but lose it to Christy Toy. Christy Toy, who scored 2 great goals at Croke Park in the past. One of them was a mere 19-year-old here in the semi-final of the All-Ireland back in 2002, and here he comes again in possession, outside as far as Frank McGlynn. Donegal players are calling for it, but they're all lateral, essentially, in a line. And they move forward now, rhythmically, with Carol Lacey. 65, now 45 metres out. Again, target number 1 is Paddy McBrearty, and McBrearty cracks one this time, which is under hit and easy for Brian Kelly to take. 10 minutes to go. 3 points between the teams. Declan O'Sullivan now to control things, to calm things down a little bit for Kerry, to give them that little bit of extra experience and know-how. Held in play just about by Mikey Gain. He wasn't the greatest of passes. And Aidan O'Mahony ambles forward, that familiar style, and the change of direction inside Neely Gallagher, having a go himself inside towards Donoghue. Donoghue turns and Donoghue fists it over the bar. He's got a goal and 2 points, Kieran Donoghue. Is starring in the 2014 All-Ireland football final, and it's Kerry by 4 points.
Yeah, the old dogs for the hard roll. Mahoney, good cross, strength of Donoghue holding his defender off, and takes a very good score. But it all came as a consequence of that wonderful block at the other side of the field.
And it was by Peter Crowley.
Peter Crowley indeed.
Well done to him. Former pupil of intermediate school in Killorgal, and they'll be singing his praises there. And right now, they just want to get the ball back over there and take the next line ball. It's going to be Neil McGee who'll take it. 9 minutes to go. Still possible for Donegal. They haven't been at their best today, but they haven't been allowed to be. Anthony Thompson, big one in. McBrearty, he's popping up everywhere and anywhere. He's now suddenly the dominant figure in the attack, and as I say so, He hits this one poorly on the way to the right-hand side, and it becomes Donegal's 8th wide of the game.
Yeah, there are 2 bad misses from Donegal, 1 into the goalkeeper's hand and 1 wide that time. You know, they need every score at the moment. Every opportunity needs to be converted at the moment that they get.
If Eamon Fitzmaurice wins this, it's going to be a remarkable success, considering where they were at the beginning of this year. That's David Walsh and Mikey Gainey there.
Well, it'll be a massive managerial triumph. You know, you remember the first round against Clare, for example, where they were behind by a point or 2 at half-time and
Martin,
won by 4.
you could go back to the month of April when they lost in, I think it was Tralee to Cork by 10 points in the league, and they then went on and hammered Cork, as I mentioned earlier, in the championship. Quite a journey.
Oh, it's been an incredible journey, but again, you know, to have taken a young and experienced group of players to the top, like presumably that they're going to win this game, is some achievement.
David Walsh, Mikey Gainey both get cards. Time now is the enemy of Donegal. They need to get hands on the ball now, set up chances, need to get the next score. Kerry goes short. Aidan O'Mahony. I think he got a knock to the head there as he was getting that ball away. Colin McFadden rather awkwardly struck his face, I think, inadvertently. Out as far as Anthony Marr. Killian Young. Now James O'Donoghue. He's been playing more conductor rather than first violinist in this match so far. Declan O'Sullivan. Gainey again, that's Mikey Gainey. That's a good ball by Gainey. Across as far as Marr. He's going for glory. He didn't need to do that. He had other options.
Yeah, their game management at the moment is superb. They're finding the loose men effortlessly. Okay, the finished product was poor that time. That was again an unnecessary shot from a long distance, but they're just at the moment keeping possession so well.
Dermot Malloy is on. Dermot the Brick Malloy, the player going off Rory Kavanagh. And that's 5 of possible 6 subs now used by Jim McGuinness and his management team. Scoring chances so far, you can see Kerry of the vast number, 26 to 18 for Donegal. Kerry leading this game by 4 points. Donegal in possession. Mac Brearty once again. McGlynn. First chance here for Dermot Malloy. Can he work the oracle? He can with this particular shot. He puts it over. His first touch. And now there's only 3 points or a goal between these sides.
Yeah, they need to get every score, convert every opportunity they got. That's a very confidently taken score. But again, as you say, there's just 1 score between them.
So 5.5 minutes are left in this final. The 127th All-Ireland football final. Donegal coming into it. This is their 3rd 100% success record so far. Can they maintain it? It's advantage Kerry. McMurphy has it for Donegal and ready to take it back. Beautifully inside as far as Gallagher, being urged to go. Inside to McBrearty, turn back to Gallagher. They need to get a score out of this. Back as far as Christy Toy, on his left. It's got a curl in, it's on its way, and it's over the bar. Toy's first point of the match. It's a 2-point game, thumbs up. Kerry 2-8, Donegal 12 points.
Wonderfully worked score again, patient work. Gallagher realised maybe he wasn't in a good position to take the score, but Toy has had a stormer today as far as I'm concerned since he's come in, and that was a very well taken score by him. Brian
Sheehan is coming on for Kerry. That's Christy Toy who got that point a moment ago there. And there is Brian Sheehan who'll be coming in just a moment, it appears, to add another little bit of experience, another layer. Back there with David Moran now. Use of possession here, so vital now for Kerry. Slender advantage. Time running out, 4 minutes to go. Killian Young all the way across to Paul Murphy, there's nobody on him. Chance now to do something productive with this. Back to a seemingly limping James O'Donoghue, but then he takes off, wriggles his way around. Back it comes to Murphy again, fed in as far as Johnny Buckley, and now back to the conductor of the orchestra, James O'Donoghue. They're going very short. They're looking for options. It's keep ball. Donegal fans don't like it. Kerry trying to run down the clock, trying to use possession sensibly and wisely. Unlike basketball where there's a 24-second clock, they don't have to get a shot on target. They can just hold on and let the seconds tick away. And that's what they're doing. 2 Donegal forwards, 13 backs inside their own 65-metre line, frustrated by this. Aidan O'Mahony. And finally, Mikey Gainey in as far as Johnny Buckley. Referee allows an advantage, hand raised. James O'Donoghue tagged back then, and the referee now brings the ball back onto the 45-metre line for the first foul in that particular move as he saw it, and it's going to be a free in for Cork. Look at the number of hand passes, Gaelic hand passing at its best, or worst.
Well, at its worst, it must be said. I mean, we admire Kerry for their use of the foot pass, and they have used it to great effect, it must be said today. But the way the game has evolved, the way the tactical dimensions of it have evolved over the last while, is critical to hold on to possession, and the easiest way to do that is to just handle the ball off to one another with the use of the hand pass.
They must have had possession for the best part of 60 seconds there, Martin.
That's right. It'll be interesting to see. The lads will probably put a clock on that tonight, but there's no doubt about it. Their experience of the older players has been manifest there in the last while. They're calmly going about their business, running down the clock, and now they have the ace long-range kicker about to try and get on the scoreboard. 2
between them. This can make it 3, and that goal by Kieran Donoghue after 52 minutes following the poor kick out by Paul Durkin, it really is the critical score of the second half. Brian Sheehan moving beautifully and over the bar, brought on to give a lift to Kerry when they've needed it in the last few minutes, and he comes up with that long-range free. The silky skills of Brian Sheehan making it 2-9 to 12 points. Is that enough for Kerry? Is there more left in Donegal, who in the second half have only managed to get 39% possession? Johnny Buckley, retained by Gainey. Brian Sheehan now. Just over a minute and a half still remaining. Killian Young, the Munster champions, lording it over the Ulster victors. Barry John Keane back as far as Declan O'Sullivan, almost pushed out over the sideline by Michael Murphy. What a frustrating a day it has been, and when you see Michael Murphy eventually having to resort to pushing Declan O'Sullivan out over the sideline, you realise what an awful day it has been for Donegal at Croke Park.
Yeah, well, it must be said, the man we're looking at there, Eamon Fitzmaurice, he put a tactical plan in place. It has worked a T for him. They disrupted Donegal kickouts from the word go. The midfield dominance that I expected Donegal to get never manifested itself, and frustration has abounded throughout the team.
And a yellow card for Murphy. It was just always going to be difficult for Donegal to come up to that level they were at 3 weeks ago. Kerry have done their homework.
Exactly, and the second game that Kerry had against Mayo was the making of the
Sure, he brought them on, exactly. Paul Murphy. Here's Aidan O'Mahony. Controlled by Brian Sheehan again. Almost into the red in terms of time. 2-9 to 12 points. And now it's a case of how many extra minutes? 2 minutes. Board being held up by the sideline official Rory Hickey as Killian Young got it out as far as James O'Donoghue. Is he to win an All-Ireland medal on a final day when he doesn't score? Aidan O'Mahony back once again to O'Donoghue, but he's played his part. His ball retention, his vision, his awareness of where other people are. I'm not sure how injured he is here.
Just cleverly white running down the clock, Gerard. Very, very good play from Kerry. They've held us in.
Going off is Kieran Donoghue, coming on is Kieran O'Leary. And when they come to lift the cup, I'm sure it'll be a combination of O'Leary and Fitzgerald will pick it up on the day when Kieran Donoghue got a goal and 2 points and absolutely lived up to his nickname. And Colm Cooper, who has been part of the squad all through the year, but unfortunately that injury he sustained in the club semi-final in Portlaoise back in February really put pay to any involvement today. But he'll be a happy man watching his colleagues, watching his pals lord it over Donegal with just a few seconds now remaining as Brian Sheehan kicks it in. It's gone wide, but there's just one more chance for Donegal if they can somehow summon up a goal-scoring chance. Oh dear, oh dear.
Well, that's hugely unsporting.
Very
that is
so.
Hugely unsporting. Good luck to Kerry, let them win it, but that is hugely unsporting.
That was Barry John Keane, gets a yellow card for kicking the ball away. And the referee should give Donegal adequate time to launch another attack. Christy Toy. Across as far as Frank McGlynn. Malloy. Back in as far as Christy Toy. Only a goal will save them. Murphy trying to go in. Still Michael Murphy. In he goes. McCrearty stuck on the line. Almost there. Still it's down there, and the referee sees that there was a boot coming in there on the defender. Shane Enright went down for it, but the goalkeeper made a save, and it could easily have ended up in the back of the Kerry net that time. Last opportunity falling to Donegal, and they so very nearly availed of it.
Yeah, just let's watch this again. Your Murphy comes through 2 or 3 tackles there, just drives his body through. Quick pass it is to McBurty. Deflected shot is parried, and McFadden most unlucky not to have got that into the net, but then it is definitely a free out.
Well, McFadden is the one denied back there, and that would have tied up the match. And there is a black card now being issued, and it is to Johnny Buckley. He's got a black card for that last tackle. Kerry, last few seconds of this match, penned back by Donegal, looking to try and get the football one more time, but they've given away a free kick this time, however, and Shane Enright is in no particular hurry to take the free kick, giving it instead to Brian Sheehan to take. The amateur whistler is waiting for the referee to blow his whistle, and he does! What a day it's been! Kerry have won the All-Ireland! A remarkable achievement for Eamon Fitzmaurice and his squad. The fans overjoyed. Victory today over Donegal, who've been so ably led once again this year by Jim McGuinness. But it's celebration time for Kerry. The Munster champions. What a day for Eamon Fitzmaurice, who looks the calmest man of the lot in Croke Park. Kieran Donaghy goes out to celebrate. It's 5 years since the county's last success at this level. Well, the tune, I think, can now be renamed, because this year it's been a case of Eamon still winning matches. And what a year it's been for Eamon Fitzmaurice, for Kerry. As we mentioned earlier, they struggled in the league. Jim McGuinness walks away. Great achievement to have got to the final, but it just wasn't his day. Disappointment for Frank McGlynn as well. But it's all about Kerry. Kerry, who just about got over Clare in the championship, hammered Cork, stuttered against Galway, took 2 games in extra time to remain standing after epic contest versus Mayo, and here they are, crowned champions for 2014. Full-time score, Kerry 2-9, Donegal 12 points. What a great day it has been for Kerry, and now GAA President Liam O'Neill presents the Sam Maguire Cup to the joint captains, Fionn Fitzgerald and Kieran O'Leary. They're All-Ireland champions once again. Champions for the 37th time. Sam is going home. And Eamon Fitzmaurice has made it happen. And the fans are celebrating every moment of this and loving it. What a day.